And today's live show is brought to you by Robinson's, our not official sponsor here today.
Robinson's fruit shoot.
It's not a fruit shoot, actually. It's just a raspberry and apple, no added sugar.
That's very exciting.
It's very exciting. Yes.
Welcome back to 128 KB. I was going to say the podcast. It's not the podcast.
It's not the podcast. It's live.
It's just live.
It's news live, actually.
Let us know in chat if we look and sound beautiful as normal. I'm sure we do. Those of you that are here early,
welcome.
You lot are lovely, aren't you? Even we're early.
We are early, yeah.
We're sat here really impatiently. It's like, should we start then?
Well, we were actually having a deep conversation, and we both said, why are we not just doing this live? So it's like, okay, let's just do it live. Let's just do it.
N64 Billy said, this is live. Dang, what's up, gang?
What's up?
N64 Billy has the best username I've ever seen.
I love that. Yeah,
that's wicked.
Yeah, that's
hello. Yes, we are live. I'm going to say hello to the early arrivers just really quickly.
Hi, Tempurious.
Tempurious, we love you. He is our resident admin and
indeed,
all things beautiful. He helps the ship run smoothly.
Indeed.
Sibler92.
Welcome.
Kendapur. Yuhi ha 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 ha, who's just been gifted a membership. That's a great name. Captain Chats, hi all. Eric Williams, glad I bought myself a Nintendo Switch OLED console. That MLB The Show 25 game. The Nintendo Switch is amazing. Graphics are top notch. Awesome. Happy for you, mate. Memes. Have I missed anything? Hi. Memes? You've not missed anything. We've just started, literally just started. On nights, just woke up, Captain Chats.
Wow.
Oh, wow. God.
Wakey.
Get some breakfast.
Yes.
Get a coffee and we'll join you for your breakfast. It's nice.
Yeah. We just had lunch, but I can eat breakfast.
Kijian LNG, AJ or AJ? It's a great question.
Oh, wow.
It's a bit of 128 KB lore, and Ted Furness is in already. Hi guys, I'm Michael Bond. I'm ready to hear some Switch 2 secrets. Well, we're going to get to that and more. Lots of exciting stuff still happening as we ramp up to Switch 2. Mem's got his pre-order, or she, I'm not sure, got a pre-order in yesterday.
Nice.
And Ferrell is playing Animal Crossing right now. Guy, you lot are the best. I love this little community. It's really great.
Yes.
We're really stoked as well because we're about to hit that massive landmark.
Oh, we're going to get 100k.
It's going to happen any
100K.
day. I want your bets in chat as to when it's going to happen.
Oh, wow. I think Monday.
Andy thinks Monday. I think Thursday next week.
Really?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think Monday.
I'm being really pessimistic.
I actually think Sunday, but I'm going to go with Monday.
Whatever day it is, I'm going to try my best to be here for you to celebrate it together. But yeah, it's fantastic. I can't believe there's 100,000 people that like this kind of madness.
Yeah, just us rambling about stuff.
Mema says, by the way, you're my favourite channel.
Thank you.
That's the best.
Thank you. I can't believe you got a pre-order for a Switch 2. There's like no pre-orders around.
Yeah, you got lucky. It's
yeah,
really good.
It's insane. I was looking again the other day because I just look around in the UK, and Nintendo UK had them up the other day. Clicked on it, sent it to someone that wanted a pre-order. I said, you better be quick. I refreshed the page, out of stock. I was like, oh, sorry.
Scott Wood.
Hey,
Scott Wood is actually a really good
Scott?
friend. He lives very close to us. Hello, Scott. He's stealth watching. He's hiding from his boss.
That. Oh, I like that.
Axel says, are you disappointed about Switch 2 being outdated? A chipset from 2021. We're going to get to that because it's a bit more complicated than the numbers and the dates would suggest.
Indeed. But yes, it is obviously going to be outdated. But we'll talk about this. That's our highlight of this live show.
Is, yeah.
So we'll wait until then.
Oliver says, this channel is seeing me into the Switch 2 release. And we're seeing each other into it as well. I think we're all in it together.
Indeed.
In this kind of what seems like the longest month of all time.
I know. Yesterday, it's 3 weeks until the Switch 2 launches. So we're under the 3-week mark now, everyone.
And Mem says he got his Switch 2 pre-order in Currys.
Oh, nice. Oh, but it was the big bundle. So I think that's with like multiple games, the camera, the controller and stuff like that.
The big bundle.
The mega bundle.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, wow. I imagine that was a bit pricey. I didn't go for the mega bundle. I don't know if I'm going to use the camera at all.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea. I want to get I want Hori to send us out the Piranha plant so I can do a review.
I'm trying to get the Piranha plant
because I want to not have it on the desk. I want to plug it into the thing in the USB-C and just have it right in my face. That's genuinely what I want.
Handheld. I want to go through some of the chats as we're going. Ted Furness says he got his pre-order in early but can't seem to stop adding to it.
Exactly. We're going to be talking about that today.
Fingers crossed I get my GameCube controller done. I did exactly the same as Ted.
Yes.
I got the pre-order in with the Mario Kart bundle. As soon as it was announced, we were really lucky and jumped straight in. And then the drip feed starts happening.
Oh, yeah. Start adding to it.
Yeah, I got the Pro controller.
Yep, same.
Then I got the GameCube
Same.
controller. And do you know what? By the end of it, I'd have probably been better off getting the big bundle that Members got for 570 quid.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is actually really good.
Yes.
Ruben Lawrence says, I managed to get pre-order on first release in store and then a second from checking Amazon. A surprise gift from my other half. Well, hopefully they're not watching this and it's just been ruined. Yes. I think you'll all be surprised by how many people start using it. Why is no one talking about battery life? And I got the Pro controller separate. We did actually do I don't know if we did a whole video on it. It was definitely part of a video.
We mentioned battery life at some point, but we didn't do a video on it.
I'm trying to remember what they didn't actually give a playable time, did they?
They did.
Was it 2 hours?
2 to, I think, 4 hours, possibly 6 at a push if it's like running like an
4,
indie or something like that. So it is obviously lower than the Switch One and the Switch OLED.
But, I mean, it's drawing so much more.
It's a lot more powerful than the original spec.
And when you put it in line with what other handhelds are kind of using and being able to run.
Yeah.
ROG Ally X is a good example. It's like the pinnacle for battery life.
I was going to say it's a bit of an outlier, really, isn't it?
It's
because
70 watt-hour battery. 80 I always get that wrong.
Battery,
but it weighs a lot. It's very big. It's chunky.
Yeah, and it's also powerful. Again, it's very powerful, and even that's got a battery life of about 2.5 hours.
I was just going to say it's not much more than 3.
Yeah, no, it's under 3. So you're looking at about 2.5 hours for playing AAA games.
Yeah.
At decent settings on the Ally X, and that's with an 80 watt-hour battery. The Switch has got a tiny battery in comparison.
A Steam Deck as well. I mean, I think what we've got to look at with all these is, I think a bit of specs on paper don't mean much anymore. It's actually what's usable.
Yeah.
So what's the usable battery life on an Ally X? It's about 2 to 3 hours. What's the usable battery life on the Switch 2? It's going to be about the same.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of hours if you're playing a really demanding game that's going to be struggling.
Steam Deck, what's the battery life on it? About 2 to 3 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, less. So you're looking at about an hour and a half on a Steam Deck for running at like max power.
Yeah. Switch 2 with Mario Kart Joycons, extra wheel Joycon and a camera was the ultimate bundle, by the way.
Nice.
Jonas says, think any new media apps will come to Switch 2? Netflix. I've seen a lot of people complaining about there not being Netflix and YouTube.
I don't think they're going to do that. They did in the past. You used to have Netflix and stuff and YouTube back in the day. I want to say Wii. I might be wrong. It might have been Wii U. I'm not too sure. And then they stopped it. And I don't blame them because they're not doing an Xbox here. They've got very good vision of what they want to be. They want to be a gaming console, and that is it. It's not a media center. So I'd be very surprised if we get those kind of things back.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool to see. I'm not against it, but I just don't expect Nintendo
It's
to
handy for those that it is their only console. It's their
their only device. Yeah.
Then I get why it'd be annoying that it's not being there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people now that have got like TVs with it built in and stuff. So it's becomes less.
And most people got your phone and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Temporus says, I would get a Switch 2, but I don't think I can afford it. So I'll have to play cross-platform with you guys, either PC or console. I'll tell you how you could afford it. Stop giving away memberships.
That's it. That's correct. Yes.
Yes. Gifting memberships to everyone. I love it.
But Temperius, I know one of your favorite games is Borderlands, and we're fully on board of doing Borderlands for... because it's cross-platform as well.
Cross-platform 4-player.
Yeah.
That's
so if
really
we
cool.
get it on Switch or whatever.
Another thing, I don't know if you've got a Switch 1, because we did a video just on game chat and game sharing and stuff. Being able to play certain games with each other.
Yeah, Borderlands 4 won't be.
No, it won't be. No, let's not disappoint them. Let's not bring the tone down too much. All right, I'm gonna try and keep up with chat. Do keep the conversations going. I want to know actually what your predictions are for the date in which 128KB crosses 100,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Closest wins a round of applause.
Monday.
I'm going Thursday next week.
We need less than 400 subscribers.
Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to say Tuesday next week.
I think it's going to be Sunday, but
okay.
I'm just saying Monday.
I wonder how many people in chat right now are going to unsubscribe just to win.
Just so that, yeah, that's it, yeah.
So, 128KB, the news. This is where we catch up on the news this week and gaming. I've got a really catchy title for today's video. not what you see underneath the live stream. It's what I've got on our notes page here. And it says Switch 2 is way more or less powerful than we thought, and it's apparently a bit less powerful than we thought, but shush, because game optimization and DLSS will compensate. And also, did you see the number of CUDA cores? Well, that's mad. Also, why does the operating system need 3 gigabytes of RAM? That's crazy.
That's good.
That's the title.
No,
I don't know.
I thought that was the whole video.
That's it.
Summed up in like one sentence.
But before we get onto like deep diving some of those specs, there's some smaller bits I want to cover that's happened this week that's kind of interesting, exciting, and I wanted to share them and get people's thoughts in chat as well. The first one is Square and their focus on the Switch 2 going forward.
Yes.
It's big news.
Oh.
Because they had
let me guess, right?
Yes.
PS5 titles are underperforming. They're not selling well, like Final Fantasy VII.
Exactly that.
Yeah. So they went, you know what? Let's go to people that actually buy games, and that's Nintendo players.
That's exactly right. Yes. And they had their business shareholders, whatever it's called, their look back and then their look forward. And Square is struggling, and the titles aren't doing as well as they thought.
Yeah.
A big part of that is that they've gone time exclusive with PlayStation for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those JRPGs that Square are kind of really known for just aren't hitting with the PlayStation fan base as they used to.
Yeah.
Maybe PlayStation's moved on. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it feels ready-made. Well, I've said this so many times, especially like Final Fantasy in particular. That feels like it coming back to Switch just feels like it coming home.
Yeah,
Final
absolutely.
Fantasy coming home.
Yeah, because it was originally on Nintendo.
It's made for that. It's made for that audience. It's made for us that love JRPGs, and that tends to be Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
I'm generalizing, I know.
No, but it's the same as me. Like, even though Resident Evil's a thing for, like, you think of PlayStation most of the time.
Yes.
I don't. I think of Nintendo.
GameCube?
I think of GameCube.
Yeah.
You know, because of Resident Evil 4 and everything else, Resident Evil 0, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so they confirmed. Obviously, we knew for a long time that they're no longer PlayStation timed exclusive. They're going multi-platform.
They kind of
for everything.
said it after the rebuff sales. They're like, by the way,
This isn't doing very well.
we're probably not going to do that anymore.
Yeah. And a big part of their focus, firstly, is get all of their games coming to Switch. It's a big part of their focus.
Yeah.
And when we did what are Nintendo calling it?
Creator's voice.
That's it. Thank you. It's like you read my mind. The creator's voice, where they deep dive with the developers and the publishers about the games coming to Switch 2.
They're talking about remake the other day, weren't they?
Yeah, they're talking about remakes. Obviously, we know that that's coming. It's been confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
And the head of that part of the development is talking about the whole Final Fantasy series.
Mentions it like 5 times in the video.
Yeah,
it's like a 2-minute video, and he's like, I can't wait to bring the series to Switch 2. You're like, you kind of give it away there, mate.
So we just know that it's coming. It's important to them. It's exciting in my mind.
Yeah.
It'd be exciting to see these games handheld.
Really exciting. Like, imagine Rebirth on the Switch 2.
Optimized for the Switch 2.
Optimized. That's a big, important part there. Optimized for Switch 2, handheld and docked, obviously.
Yeah.
And then whatever part 3 is.
Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's really
It
exciting.
might even launch
Mouse
on,
mode.
Well, maybe. I don't know why you'd need that on
No,
Final Fantasy. But, part 3's yet to be announced or anything, because we're years away from it yet. It will likely launch on Switch 2.
Yeah, I think it will. I think that's going to be nailed on. Yes, there's loads of chats to catch up on. Everyone's like,
there's so much
it's
chat.
really exciting. I love it.
It's exciting, but I'm trying to read it off a phone, and I have a problem with reading so much text that's scrolling at the same time. I'm like,
Zuko says, why do you need... Oh, Temperis is saying, I own a Switch OLED, but it hasn't been used since I got the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally X. And Zuko says, why do you need a Steam Deck and a ROG Ally? Sell one.
Yes,
lol.
so Zuko's totally right. Sell your Switch OLED and sell the Steam Deck, keep the ROG Ally, and then buy a Switch 2.
Because you can sell the Switch now and do the cloud backup thing, and as soon as you do decide to get two, you can
and you don't need
download
a
it.
Steam Deck because the ROG Ally X is way more powerful. So you're good.
Will you guys rebuild your console or PC games on the Switch 2? I think we mean rebuy, Treble Champ. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute, actually, because there's some interesting things that have developed today. In fact, sod it, let's go straight there.
Right.
Talking about rebuying your games collections on...
Oh, God, don't talk to me about this.
You have on console and PC on Switch.
I have a problem.
Andy, what's your favourite game that you've never played?
Oh, what are you talking about? Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk.
The game that I waited for over 10 years, and then when it launched, I didn't buy it because I knew it would be in a state.
Yeah.
Which, is that video still on the channel, or did we hide it? I think we might have hidden it.
No, it's still on the channel.
It's still on the channel?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right, right. So,
Cyberpunk's broken or something.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was like when it launched, and it was before any of the, anyone knew about it. And I was like, I'm not buying this.
Yeah.
It's like, even though I've waited 10 years for this,
it's
I'm not buying it.
broken.
And then literally overnight, it went to, hell. And and all this stuff happened. I just said, I'm going to wait longer until they fix it. And like now is the time to play Cyberpunk because everything's like done.
Since Phantom Liberty,
Yeah.
it's like nailed on.
Yes. But I was like, I'm not going to play it. I bought it on PS5. I was like, I'm going to have it. I kept it sealed. I was still going to wait because there were still problems. I sold my PS5 and I sold the copy of Cyberpunk. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I've got a beastie PC, so like powerful PC.
Perfect time to play it.
I've got an Ally X that can play it as well.
Perfect time.
I was
to
like,
play it. Yeah.
perfect time to play it. And then the Switch 2 dropped, didn't it? And then they showed Cyberpunk, and I went, what? Cyberpunk on Switch 2?
How many times have you bought Cyberpunk?
What, including what's just happened recently?
How many times in total have you bought Cyberpunk?
3 times.
How many times today have you bought Cyberpunk?
2 times. So I bought it on PC this morning, and then I just ordered it for Switch 2 as well. So, yeah.
It rubber banded because someone earlier was talking about getting their pre-order in at Curry's, and I think they still have stock by the sounds of it. So have a look if you're trying to find one in the UK. Anyway, you were looking at Curry's for games, and they've got like massive sales on pre-orders.
So this is like
For
a little known secret, right? If you're in the UK, I apologize for everyone outside of the UK here. If you're going to buy any physical games of any kind that's coming out soon, I'm not talking about older titles. This only works on pre-orders. 90% of the time, Curry's will do a 10% off if you pre-order. And I've been doing that for a long time.
He didn't even tell me until today.
I promised everyone on the channel, all our subscribers, and myself, that I would go digital only for the Switch 2. And the first game I've just bought for the Switch 2 that's not Mario Kart World because I bought the bundle happens to be physical.
You were moaning about it so much.
I want it to be digital.
Protest.
But I just bought it physically, so there we go.
Because it's cheap. How much off was it? It's like 10% off.
10% off. So
and free delivery.
Free delivery, 10% off. And it's meant to be $65 for the physical. Curry's have it at $59.99 plus 10% off. It's $53.99. So it's cheaper than buying it on the eShop.
Whilst we're talking about bargains, I also did a little bit of shopping today, and it goes with some advice that I've given you guys before, but I just wanted to reiterate because not everyone catches it at all the time. I went to a local like pawnbrokers that's got video games in there. I'm sure you've got them near you. Find Switch 1 games that are going to get upgrades.
Yes, and then...
You don't want me to tell people because they're really cheap still in the most part. So find the Switch 1 versions that you're going to get either the free upgrades, the NSO upgrades, or like cheap,
or the paid
like
ones.
£10 upgrades.
Like Zelda.
Zelda's a really good example. Because you can pick them up really cheap. I picked up a couple of Switch 1 games today for really cheap that I'm going to upgrade.
Amazing. Such a good move. I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Like do the maths in your head first. Do you know what I mean? If you're thinking of doing this, make sure that you... Because some of the games that are like Switch 2 versions, it could be cheaper for you to just buy that.
And have a look at like places like Curry's because you can find deals.
But if you can find a second-hand copy of a Switch 1 game and then factor in the upgrade cost, you might save some money, which is exactly what you've just done.
Yeah.
So I think...
Yeah, you got to do the maths.
you got to do the maths, but I think it's the right thing to do. But just rounding off that like PC and like the Switch game problem... This is what my problem was with the Switch 1 because I really wanted to support third-party developers coming to Switch. I rebought every game I already owned. I bought The Witcher 3 again. I bought Dying Light again. Like I bought 90% of the games that are on Switch that I already owned on PC, but I bought them again because I wanted it handheld. Obviously now I've got like PC handhelds and stuff.
Yeah, it's different now.
But there's still a part of me that I've always been a Nintendo guy. I've always loved Nintendo. But the fact that you know that these games are going to be optimized. I know we're going to talk about this more later, but these games are going to be specifically optimized for the Switch.
Yeah.
And the fact that you just press a button and it loads up, you don't need to mess with anything.
So big. That bit is so big.
I think I'm going to reach for the Switch version more.
I was going to ask you, like, it's a bit of a tough choice. Where are you going to, when you're looking to handheld, where are you going to go?
Well,
Ally X or Switch 2?
It really depends on the performance and whether the game's even available, you know. But for Cyberpunk, for example, it's cross-save. Yeah. So I can play it on my 9070 XT PC and be like playing it all like maxed out or whatever, and then swap it over to the Switch.
Cross-save.
Done.
Just play it. Yeah. There was an interview with CD Projekt Red a few weeks back, wasn't there? About it. I know you got it on your phone.
Yes, I do.
About the Switch 2 version specifically of Cyberpunk. And I believe that they were going on to say that it's the best way to play it handheld will be the Switch 2 version, because it's the first one they've made specifically for handheld, the first build.
So Charles Tremblay, I was trembling with excitement reading this.
Tremblay.
Says that the Switch 2's hardware makes it the best handheld version of the game.
Wow.
And he followed that up with the new amazing LCD screens and VRR support. You know, Nintendo paid him to say that. I do think it's the best way to experience the game on the go. There we go. But obviously this is their first like specifically made port for a handheld device.
That's interesting, because I remember when we went to the Switch 2 preview event,
I was gutted we didn't get to play it.
Yeah, but the talk was that it was the Steam Deck build, and that somehow that this is a specific build for Steam Deck. And I remember thinking at the time that was odd, because I don't think they did that.
No, they spent something like 7 weeks porting it for that test demo.
Yeah.
And I think they were continuing to work on it like up until launch, whatever.
Yeah, it's and we're going to see that.
Saw that, Maisie.
We're going to see that as a continuing theme, that these games are just like really well optimized for the system. And as people were pointing out in the chat earlier, that like, how do you feel about hardware from 2021? It's like, yeah, it is, and the numbers make it look a certain way, but there's like devil in the detail with this, and we're going to get to the specs later on, but there's devil in the detail. A lot of it's to do with how NVIDIA do things, and a lot of it's how developers make it for that system.
Yeah, I mean, specs aside, that is ultimately the win that Nintendo has here. Obviously, like, games are going to sell more on Nintendo than they are on any like specific PC handheld.
Yeah.
I mean, just really quickly round up what we've talked about in previous lives and news. Like, the collective of handheld PC gaming systems have sold like 6 million in 3 years. The Switch 1 has sold like over 150 million.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So it's totally different. Devs are going to actually put the time and effort to optimize the game on the Switch 2 system, because they know more people are going to buy it. So it's going to run better, you know, on the Switch 2. Potentially.
There's a couple of people talking about in the chat that's there about the... Did you guys see Cyberpunk Direct 27 Direct feed of gameplay on Japanese media channel?
No.
Someone else saying bad at best. That's interesting, because everything we've seen, and I know Digital Foundry did a huge deep dive on it, and it was impressive.
Yeah,
it's not going to be like, it's not going to compare to like, you're going to sit there with a 5090 and it's going to like bleeding edge, like path tracing and everything. It's not that.
And I'm sure you get more FPS out of like the Ally X, for example.
Yeah.
But it's an £800 PC.
Yeah,
it's double the price.
I wanted to say welcome to our new member. I want to be very careful in how you say your username. I've been holding off on this one for a bit.
I'm going to say Big Willeb.
Big Willeb.
I like it.
Well, welcome to the members. I'm sorry I can't get to everyone's chats. I'm trying my best. I will get to you, and we'll do our best. But please do keep them coming in. It's lovely to have the conversation. Captain Chat says hardware from 21 doesn't bother me at all when you know optimization there.
Exactly, yes.
Maisie Mommy. People are poor over the world right now. We ain't buying 5090s.
Exactly.
I think that's a really fair way of putting it. It's a Nintendo console that's yes, everything is more expensive than we want, but when you actually look at the market, it's kind of balanced price point. It's kind of where we expect it to be.
Yeah.
And for the value, it's going to be the best value experience that you can get right now.
Yeah.
That allows you to play great games handheld and then put them on your TV and have an even better experience with no faff as well.
And I know people are disagreeing with Axel. I kind of agree with you here that Switch 2 is the best way to play Nintendo games, but not third-party games. And that might be right. It might not be the best way of playing third-party games. Absolutely. I mean, me running it on my like $2,000 PC is going to be the best way, to play it. However, most people don't have the luxury to have multiple systems or different ways of playing it, So the fact that if someone just has a single Switch 2 and that's it, and they really wanted to play Cyberpunk, I think it's mind-blowing that it's there. The same with Elden Ring and Star Wars Outlaws, these kind of things. It opens up possibilities for people to be able to play that they otherwise wouldn't be able to experience.
Yeah.
And for me, I think this is because they're going to be optimized for this system. It might not be the best way, but it should be good enough that you're going to actually have fun playing it, And that's why I personally would choose a cross-save title that I can play on PC.
Oh, it's huge.
And then flip over to my Switch 2 and continue playing in bed.
I'm so happy that that's now how the transition of the industry is going in general, that we're removing the barriers between platforms a little bit, at least. I know Nintendo and Sony are going to keep theirs, but for the most part, any third-party ones are removing the barriers and allowing you, acknowledging that a lot of gamers have multiple devices. Some are mobile, some are desktop or on your TV. It's lovely that we're getting there. We're getting there. It's not as quick as I'd like it to be, but we are getting there.
Yeah. And Captain Chat says a lot of people expect too much, and that's half the issue. And I do agree. I think some people, want the Switch 2 to be even more powerful than it is right now. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm really happy with what seems to be the performance of the Switch 2. I mean, obviously, until we get some in hand and I actually sink some hours into Cyberpunk and all these other games, then I will have a better experience of it. But from what we played hands-on in the London experience, performance was not an issue for me.
At all.
There wasn't a single game that we played where I picked it up and went, wow, that's bad.
It was it was a couple of weeks ago when we last did a live thing. I can't even remember who it was, us. It was the perfect question, though. It's like, is the performance now good enough that we can just forget about it?
Yes.
And I was like, yes, 100% that's where we're at.
Especially in stuff like Zelda,
yes,
which I was getting like taken aback by with the Switch 1. Like, because I love those games. Like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were so good. But there was times where the performance was chugging that it pulled me out of the experience.
Yeah.
Especially with Scarlet and Violet, the Pokemon. I actually had to stop playing those because the performance was that bad. Whereas this time round, I don't think I'm going to have that problem.
Zuko asks a really important question as well. Do you guys think original unpatched Switch games will be more blurry considering it has a 1080p screen while also being 8 inches?
Wow.
Well, we don't know. I can't say for certain.
I would say it depends because if it's an unpatched game like you're saying, which I'm sure there'll be many of, will the Switch internally force it up to 1080p, or will it just stretch a 720p up to the 7.9 inch? Which I think
it would be game by game.
Game by game, but I would assume it just stretches the 720p output because that's what's baked into the game as the outres.
I'm willing
handheld.
to bet right now that any Nintendo IP will be patched to have at least a 1080 output. Maybe not an upgraded version, but it won't stretch it.
Like the free upgrades. We just filmed a video about that and we'll be going out next week. I reckon the majority of those unpatched older Switch games are going to be outputting at 720p on the bigger image. We'll see. I'm going to have to test it. I'll probably do some videos, just to see that. Test some really obscure Switch games that I've got, just to see how bad is it. But we'll see. Yeah.
Mima says, or maybe it'll just play 720p on the at 7 inches. What? Just like massive borders?
Maybe. No, I think it would stretch. It will fit. It will fit the
stretch.
screen. It will fit the screen.
Macy Mummy says, did they go to the Excel? I was there too. We did.
Oh,
we were there on Friday afternoon.
Yes, you might have seen us.
We might have seen you. We might have seen you.
Should have.
There was a couple of people we said hello to there, which was nice.
Yes, yeah, indeed.
That's so many questions. I'm kind of losing myself.
I know.
I want to keep the conversation going. I know there's some people like talking about the Steam Deck's better. Specs are out. Steam Deck OLED is actually better. How can it be justified? I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. So I would say the only thing that's better about the Steam Deck is the processor, which you'd expect from a computer. But other than that, you haven't got like specifically optimized games really. Like there's the odd game that's optimized by devs, but it's a little bit different. It's different.
DLSS is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, DLSS on the Switch 1. Switch 1? Switch 2. It's a tough one because I've got no hate for Steam Deck. I love the Steam Deck.
That's who's used my cloud emoji.
Oh, I love
You
that.
have.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, I've got big
No
love
one ever uses them.
No one's done mine. But yeah, I've got big love for the Steam Deck, but I just see it as a different ball game. It's like comparing
thing.
a MacBook to a Windows PC. It's like they're essentially the same thing, but they're totally different.
This is a question we get all the time in life. I genuinely have no ideas if you guys are dating or not. Andy's actually married to a woman.
Not to you.
Not to me.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he said no to me.
No. I am married to a woman, believe
Yes.
it or not. Yeah.
But it's fine.
She's got a temper as well.
If you can think we're dating as well. That's absolutely fine.
You can think we're dating, yeah.
He's worn my underwear.
Is it because I
we
cross
share-
my legs a lot? I can't help
It's
it.
your
I'm
ripped jeans.
fidgety.
It's your ripped jeans. Now, I want to move it along a little bit to my favourite game of the moment, which is Expedition 33.
Oh, yes. Oh, what? And is it going to come to Switch?
Is it coming to Switch
Oh!
too?
Oh.
Right, so do I tell you what the developers said first, or do we talk about how amazing
Can you say
it would
no
be?
so I don't have to buy it and then not play it? Because I've got it on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not playing it because
Yeah.
I played some of it, but I'm not
Yeah.
playing it. If they bring it to Switch, I'm going to end up buying it and then playing it for like 2 hours.
The one thing I'll say is if it does come to Switch, they have to implement cross-save because I will play it again, but I'll do New Game Plus.
Oh, that would be good. If it cross saves, then I can continue.
In case you've not have the benefit of Game Pass, maybe you're not an Xbox player or you've not had a chance to play Expedition 33 yet, it is amazing.
Really cool game.
It really is amazing.
Really cool.
It's not. There was a lot of hype about it being like the best RPG ever made and all this nonsense. It's not that good. I'm going to chill your boots a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's fantastic.
It's up there.
I think it's definitely the best game I've played this year.
Would you say it's the best Xbox RPG?
Oh, that's a big shout. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's better than Starfield.
Wow.
I played
Shots
Starfield
fired.
more,
Totally different type of game, but it's all right.
but both RPGs, aren't they? Kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of role playing with stats and stuff.
One's a bug fest, though.
Yeah,
One's
I enjoyed Starfield, but it wasn't all that. It could have been. It just wasn't quite.
Wow.
Expedition 33 feels like a bit because it's so close to Final Fantasy. Because there's so
Yeah.
much Final Fantasy in it, it feels like it would be perfect on a Switch. Whether they'll get it to run well, it runs on Series S, so you would imagine so. They're obviously implementing some really heavy upscaling. You can see it on like hair.
Oh, on the Xbox. It's
Yeah, even on the
pretty
Series
atrocious.
X,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a difficult one to run. But Captain Chat says tried it wasn't for me. Yeah, I get it. I think turn-based games for one are very divisive. Games that have like parrying and dodge mechanics are that kind of Souls-like thing of like dying and being reborn, and you've learned stuff and the enemies respawn. All those things I get quite divisive. For me, I think it's taken all of those elements and put them together really nicely.
Yeah.
And I imagine handheld specifically, that would be good fun.
Yeah.
Especially that battle mechanic.
Yeah, that's the thing. For hand, because this kind of game is cool to like put down, pick up kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you know that the Switch, which is another reason people love the Steam Deck over other Windows handhelds, it's going to have sleep.
Yeah.
You know, like you can just be halfway through a game, you just press a power button and
Yeah.
then like pick it up 2 hours later and continue.
Yeah.
You know, like this kind of game would be ideal for on the go. Like people could like, I nearly said commuting. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not what I was thinking.
I kind of agree with what Maisie said a minute ago. Keep turn-based.
You did say that when you started playing it.
I 100% agree.
You actually said that to me in a private message.
But
You were like, "Mrr."
I will say, if you've got Game Pass, Maisie, just to persevere with it a little bit, because when it clicks, like after, because I really loved the story, so I was just kind of persevering with the parrying mechanics. It's a bit annoying, but when it clicked and I finally got it, it's very satisfying. And then suddenly this turn-based thing comes alive a little bit more, and it was quite cool. Anyway, the developers, Sandfall, isn't it, that make it? Sandfall Interactive. Their CEO, I can't say his name, it's French, Guillaume Brochet.
Oh, like that.
Could be, I made it up. I could have said anything and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you could have, yeah.
Let's call him Gustave, because that's one of the characters. Gustave Brochet.
Robert Patterson.
They obviously, they keep talking about how surprised they are with the success of it. But in an interview, he was asked directly, what are your thoughts on bringing it to Nintendo Switch 2? And he says, yes, it is definitely something that could be very interesting. It's a bit vague.
Yeah. It's we want to, but we haven't thought about it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I'd be down for that, and I would potentially give it a go.
I would love it because I quite like it, and I think it would open up to even more players, and I think it's a game that people should at least try. But I think the one thing that's going to stop it happening is that it's been really badly received in Japan.
Has it? Because
of the Final Fantasy VII ripoff.
Oh.
There's a lot of people in the Japanese market, especially JRPGs, that say it's not a pure game.
I was just about to say they're on Maisie's side there.
Yeah.
Because the Japanese are very specific with their RPGs. Yeah. Like, they are so, like, to the point with them. This is a very westernized, like, even though it feels almost, it's in some elements, like, taking inspiration from Asian titles.
Yes.
Yeah, it is still a Western title, like, through and through.
Yeah.
So I can understand whilst like Japan's not really feeling the vibe.
Yeah. And you got the combat mechanic is a kind of a mix of everything. The gameplay style is a bit of a mix of everything. The story and the style is, you can feel elements from loads of different things. So I totally agree. It's not pure enough for the Japanese market. For me, it's a bit of a stopgap while there's no Final Fantasy VII.
Well, Alma said that Square said that, I'm guessing you're saying DQ12 is Dragon Quest, right? Dragon Quest is going to change. Interested to see what the battle mechanics are.
It's interesting.
Wow.
Captain Chat says he's in a bit of gaming funk at the moment, hoping the Switch 2 gives him a shot in the arm.
Nice.
I don't know if you've got Xbox Game Pass either on Xbox or PC, but give Doom a go. If you want a bit of a shot in the arm for some kind of arcade fun that's really cool.
Doom just came out yesterday, and we're talking about it in the podcast
next week.
Will be coming out on Tuesday. Wait for that. But if you've got Game Pass already, go play Doom the Dark Ages.
Yeah. Clair Obscur feels more like Nier Automata. I guess it does.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what I've got the Switch version of that and the PC version.
Nier Automata.
Yeah. So whoever was bringing up PC and Switch versions, just assume if I've got it on Switch, I also equally have it on PC.
And you've completed neither of them.
Yeah. Oftentimes not even started both of them. But yeah, I'm totally going to be playing Nier Automata on Switch too.
Hey boys, do you know if Borderlands 4 will have cross-save options if I want to play on Series X and then have my progression on Switch 2?
I believe it will do.
Yes, I think it does.
Yes.
Because it has obviously
it's
cross-platform multiplayer. So I think cross-save... Or I don't want to say for certain though.
No, but I hope that's the case as well myself.
I hope we get a Switch 2 Doom the Dark Ages.
We 100% absolutely will. It's going to be announced in June.
Yeah, so...
Hands down.
Just to catch you up in case you haven't... We've said it a few times, but in June there is the Microsoft Developer Direct, I think they call it.
Yeah.
And we're fully expecting, and all the rumours are, that all of the announcements for what Microsoft games are coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be then. And expect the floodgates to open.
Oh, yeah,
It's going to be massive.
Basically, every single like Xbox game is going to be coming on to Switch 2. I like that. Do you live with each other and share a studio? No, we do not.
No,
I live about an hour away. This is AJ's studio. And if you go watch some of the Switch 2 reactions immediately, or any of my reviews,
I'm at your house.
You're in my house, but that's my studio there.
And it's also the room I slept in when I was there, if you're wondering.
That's it.
Surrounded by Andy's games.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Just walls of them like this.
Yeah.
But all mine are Nintendo.
Right. I'm going to move away from the Switch just for a little bit. I'm sorry. Because in the world of handheld gaming, there is also, of course, Steam and SteamOS.
Yes.
And SteamOS is also obviously almost here. The Lenovo Legion Go S is due... Hold on, it's May. It should be out.
Probably.
Maybe it got delayed. Maybe it's the end of May.
Not too sure. I'm thinking not in terms of the Lenovo though. I'm just thinking of the stock like release of SteamOS for anyone, which I imagine is coming soon because of what you were going to talk about in a second.
Yeah, I'm just searching because the release date was 25th of May.
There we go. So next week.
That's SteamOS as well.
Is it next week or the week after?
It is 9 days away. I can do maths too.
I can't. 9 days. What, 25th? What, on a Sunday?
Hey, I don't make the rules.
Lenovo, what are you doing?
Mima says, do you think SteamOS will come out for PCs?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I agree.
I do, yes.
And this could go either way, right? SteamOS. We talked about how we did want it before.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm worried about it, okay, is that I think it could ruin the Steam Deck.
Okay.
Just with bad rep.
Yeah.
The reason before that the Steam machines failed, which should have just been a Steam console, but it wasn't. It was just a Steam badge on a load of different PCs.
Like Alienware and all that kind of stuff. They're all different specifications.
It failed because there was too many variables in the hardware.
And they were well expensive.
That's true. The beauty of the Steam Deck, okay, is as either someone without much time or without the knowledge. So someone like me, who comes from console gaming, I can dip my toe in PC gaming without the knowledge.
With ease, yeah.
With ease.
Yeah.
I can buy a Steam Deck and they're all the same.
Yes.
Performance-wise.
Yes, there's no variance.
So if it's verified for Steam Deck, the game on Steam Library, then it's going to work on the Steam Deck.
Maybe.
For the most part. But it makes it very easy for the developers to test that it's working because there's only one variant of hardware to check.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We're now seeing SteamOS rolling out to the Lenovo Legion Go S. It's the first device.
And they have 19,000 variants.
They really do.
Yeah.
They've got so many variants of RAM configurations, processors and speeds that they're in.
RAM. And then into the mix, you can then throw in the Ally. And then the Ally X, which are two different variants, again, different RAMs and speeds there.
So the more time I've spent thinking about SteamOS, the more I'm worried about that little badge that says SteamOS compatible.
Yeah.
Which is the new thing.
The new announcement.
The new badge that we're going to get on
So it's
games.
Taking the Steam Deck verification of like unplayable, playable, and verified, but for SteamOS in general, which is kind of hard to say when it's going to be on any potential hardware.
Yeah.
So like I'm guessing it's just verified, which is actually the case for the Steam Deck. Of can you open the game and launch it without the need of using a mouse and keyboard or touchscreen or anything like inconvenient? That is basically like the stipulation to become verified, because there is games on the Steam Deck that are verified that do not play.
There's no full testing. They let the community do that. Basically, they let people find out themselves.
Yeah, pretty
in
much.
Other words.
Pretty much.
It could go the other way. It could be great for the Steam Deck if people really like the SteamOS experience.
Yeah.
But are getting really frustrated with the too much variance in the hardware and certain things not working, and then having to flip into Linux and try and fix things.
Yeah.
That actually they know with the Steam Deck, and when the Steam Deck 2 comes, it just works straight out the box in much the same way as the Switch does. It just works most of the time.
I think it's going to be really good for a lot of use cases for people. It's just not going to be the be all or end all. I think people that already are quite well versed on the Steam Deck and really enjoy SteamOS because it's a really good operating system, like, you know, on top of Linux.
Yeah.
I think if you've got maybe an older build, an older PC or something, and you're just wanting to play single player games or whatever, absolutely slap SteamOS on there, make it real easy to use. It's such a low like resource hog system.
Yeah, it's very
then
good.
You're going to like eke out the most performance out of an older system. But if you're like a general PC player that you're looking to play like Call of Duty and all these other like big platform like anti-cheat games, then it's not for you unless you're dual booting. Maybe, but then what's the point?
Like extending the support for anti-cheat, but it's just an inherent flaw because it's a Linux-based system, isn't it?
Yeah, it's there. It's just it's down to the devs to enable
GTA Online. They
just
switched
save
it off.
it. They went nope and pulled it. Yeah, out
Valve
of the rug.
expect there to be 18,000 titles marked as SteamOS compatible. So again, to reiterate what you just said, it's really important to distinguish what that means. And it's not that the game is great. It's just that it will open and it will work with controller support. That's it.
Yeah.
Whether it works or not, and you get a glitch-free experience is a different kind of thing. Zuko says, I hope Astral Chain is coming. I don't think that'll happen. Astral Chain 2 specifically.
Oh, Astral Chain is so good.
Yeah.
I streamed the majority of that game on this channel. Still on the channel somewhere.
You did, didn't you?
I did, yeah. It was over a Christmas, I think. I was like, I'm streaming Astral Chain. Did it for like 5 or 6 streams. It's really good.
Nintendo will brick your console and you can use it as a trowel. Can I just, we did a whole video on this. It's coming out next week.
It's the podcast, isn't it?
It is the podcast.
It's the podcast.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
on Tuesday, we're talking about the terms and conditions, or whatever it is, the TOS. So there we go. I love my Steam Deck. That's me that's saying that. by the way.
You're saying this.
I am saying that, yeah. Who's getting the Switch 2 on release day?
Me.
Yes.
You. A
and
few other people there.
also love the Steam Deck. I've got nothing against that.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I mean, the SteamOS thing, I think is really cool. I'm personally, just due to my own preferences, more excited about the like Windows gaming handheld / Xbox OS that I'm waiting for Microsoft to
Yes.
basically a complete copy of SteamOS, but still running Windows.
yeah. It's going to be better for more players, I think.
It's going to be this year.
Yeah. Dr. BKJV, nerds.
Yes. Indeed, yeah.
And you're welcome to come around and tell me to my face.
Indeed, yeah.
It's fine. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming over to Switch 2. Leaks are happening at the moment. That would be amazing. Oh, I think I'd play that all over again, you know.
Leaks are happening. I haven't seen any of that.
No.
Red Dead 2. Red Dead 1's on Switch.
Yeah, I know.
I bought
Yeah.
it on Switch, didn't I?
Yes, I think you did.
I forget about Switch games that I've already bought. I said to AJ the other day, in a video that's not even out yet, we were talking about GameCube games, and I said, it'd be really good if Oddworld Stranger's Wrath gets brought over to the GameCube online on Switch. And I said that in the video. I was editing the video, and then I Googled it, and it was like, it's already on Switch. And I said to AJ, oh my God, it's already on the Switch. And I said, I better check before I buy it that I don't have it. And I went, oh no, look, I've already got it. I didn't even realise. So there we go.
I love it.
But yes, Red Dead 2 on Switch 2, absolutely.
I would play that game all over again. It's such a beautiful experience.
It's a very
isn't
good
it?
game. That's a fantastic game. I love it.
And being able to pick it up and play it handheld and then take it home and then, you know, just all of those things.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, I'd love to know actually what games you would love to see
Yes.
on Switch 2 as we're going through. And just quickly before I move on the story, Jan Bink says, do you think a Neo grip is needed? So I guess any kind of grip con.
It's very personal.
He says, I've got massive hands. I've got fairly big hands and so have you. Like the original Joycons and original Switch is horribly too small for me. This is surprisingly comfortable.
It's very comfortable given how flat and wide it is.
We don't know what it's like for really long amounts of time because obviously if you're like us, you'll probably end up playing for like 2-3 hours, maybe 4 hours at a time handheld. And what that's like, I don't know. So I don't want to say yet what the long-term ergonomics are, the comfort, but short-term at least, it solved a few really big problems. It was very light in hand, which was nice. It was very comfortable. The Joy-Cons felt very sturdy. There was no wobble. And my little fingers didn't
get the pinky grip. Yeah.
I'm sure if, like Jan saying, if you've got big hands, you would have done the same.
Yep.
Your little finger wants to sit underneath the Switch currently. That didn't happen at all.
No, and because it's so flat and wide, the weight distribution is so well balanced that it feels light all the way across the back. It's very comfortable, more comfortable than I expected after seeing how thin it is, but it might be necessary to get a grip. I've actually already got loads of them, so we'll be testing them once I get the...
Let's do a massive shout before this disappears off my screen. Super chat.
Oh, wow.
From Dream Profit.
Thank you, Dream Profit.
Do you think Switch 2 will force Switch games onto their docked modes as part of the previously mentioned emulation pipeline?
Wow.
Let's say that again. I think Switch 2 will force Switch 1 games, I guess it's saying, onto their docked modes.
Whilst handheld?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That makes loads of sense.
That would make a lot of sense as to how to get the performance increase.
Aha. Do you know?
I haven't even thought about that. You know,
we should be paying you that super chat. That's
a great
such a
question.
Genius solution,
and also a very good question.
I think you're right.
I think Dream Profit works for Nintendo.
Does your uncle work at Nintendo?
Yes. Yeah.
Were you the leaker? Are you Genki?
Yeah. Dream Profit is Nintendo.
I just want to say big shout out to Genki. They're not sponsored this. They did sponsor a video when we went to London for the thing. Yeah, and they're in loads of trouble at the moment. They're an awesome company.
Yes.
Go give them your support on social media and stuff because they're really lovely people and they genuinely love gaming.
They did some cheeky sneakies.
They did do some naughty things and they're a little bit in trouble for it. We'll see.
Indeed.
Do you think the console wars are childish? Yes. 1,000 times yes, Green Ninja.
Yes.
I hate it. I love them all.
Yes.
historically a massive PlayStation fan, as you can tell. I've said this so many times.
These are all fake, by the way. They're just cardboard cards.
It's just wallpaper, actually. huge PlayStation fan. And in this generation is the first time I've really embraced Xbox. I had a 360 and it died all the time. And this generation is the first time I've really embraced Xbox, and Game Pass has helped that. And so I've fallen deeply in love with that. Nintendo's always been there. I think it has for everyone. It's just because they're the monoliths, aren't they? And the Switch changed everything. And actually getting to know you better and your love for the Switch has really opened my eyes up to handheld gaming.
Yeah.
So when you consider that we should be denying ourselves each of these, or we should look at PlayStation and go, that's stupid, or Xbox is right, it doesn't make any sense. Because they're all really cool for different things.
And they're all there so that you can have fun.
Yes.
So why get angry about it?
It's all fun stuff.
Who cares? Yes.
Yeah. So, no. I even almost bought a PS Portal today.
You did, yeah. I mean,
you had to stop me.
I had to stop him. I said that draws the line. The console war's real when you get to that point.
You do that, you're out. Okay, talking of PlayStation.
Okay,
I'm just going to quickly go to PlayStation Land.
Yeah.
Do you think we're seeing a PS5 price rise coming soon?
Yeah, there's a little note in your notes just
I'm staring right at it.
Yeah, what's the price on that?
Okay, I'm going to let you into how this works. So I have a little text document in front of me. It's going to ruin the illusion. Where during the week we write out the news that's happening and just make a little note so then we don't forget about stuff. And I put a little note saying PS5 price increase is coming. And then the information...
Mark Cerny entered in some extra...
The information. And then it looks like it says here, edited by Andy, PS5 Pro price set to cost $9 million.
Wow. That wasn't me. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. Is a PS5 price increase incoming?
Absolutely it is.
It's going to go one of two ways, okay?
Yeah.
And to be fair to Sony, they desperately don't want it to happen because everything's already really expensive from Sony.
Yeah. They've already price hiked it. Yeah.
They already know how to charge. They've already price hiked in this market. Europe, UK, and the Middle East have already had a small price increase on PS5.
Yeah.
It didn't in America.
Oh, did they not?
No.
Oh.
So that's interesting. That was interesting in itself. And I think they were holding off to see what the impact of all that, craziness, the tariffs and all that happened. They had their financial report. Firstly, PS5 has sold 77.8 million units so far.
Wow.
Which is great. It's about 1 million behind where PS4 was at this point. So it's lagging behind what they wanted. They thought PS5 was going to outstrip that.
Yeah.
The tariffs are reported that if they swallowed the cost and didn't increase the price, it will cost Sony $700 million. Yeah.
Nearly $1 billion.
Nearly $1 billion. It's insane. Like, the numbers are crazy.
That is nuts.
So their only solution, they've got one or two solutions, is to increase the costs to cover, or cover some of it, or they're even considering moving manufacturing into America, because at that price point it would make it cheaper.
Well, they'd probably spend 700 million creating the workforce to be able to make it.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
I don't see that as.
But basically, they're doing everything they can to avoid the price increase to keep the sales momentum high. Yeah, it's crazy times, man. It's crazy to think that mid-generation points historically were always where the price dropped. We're seeing Xbox and PlayStation, that's where the price has increased.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The price increase. What was the price increase in the UK? The digital one's gone up to $430, isn't it? I think it was. It's sticky.
I can't remember, but yeah,
sticky amount.
It's crazy
for the PS5 Slim digital.
Yeah,
like I don't know if I'd buy that. Anyway, that's enough. I hate talking about the money part and the doom and gloom. It's just not fun.
Yes, and it all fluctuates, so it's kind of hard to pin it down anyway.
Great question, because I know what the answer is. You played Doom: The Dark Ages yet?
Yes, we're
100%.
talking about you 100%ed it. Wow.
No, I just did. I did the first chapter 25%.
Is that what you got on the first chapter?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Bear in mind, I turned it on at 10:30.
Yeah, I turned it on at 9:30. But yeah, we talked about Doom: The Dark Ages in our podcast that comes out this Tuesday coming. So if you want to hear, we did a big Doom special in that.
Yeah.
So even though the podcast has nothing to do with Doom in the title, There's like a third of the whole podcast is just talking about Doom.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's amazing. I'll
It's
just put
amazing.
this. If you've got Game Pass and you've got a chance to play
Just play it.
just play it. It's really good
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah.
Alistair Rickman, I need to pull up on this because it attaches to what I was talking about a minute ago. I've never played Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, so looking forward to playing them.
you're in for a treat if you're playing them on Switch too.
I did the same. I'd only like seen you play them. I'd
Yeah.
never actually had them and played like an amount of time in them
Yeah.
myself. So that's the games I'm going out and buying now, and I'd recommend you do the same because you get the Switch Online subscription. The upgrade's free.
Yeah, if you got the expansion pack.
So
Yeah.
what did I pick up Tears of the Kingdom for today? Was it 30?
30. Yeah, so and you're getting a free
Yeah, the free upgrade.
so you pay £30 for it.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
From seeing it at the London showcase,
Yeah. Night and day difference. We've shown footage on the channel here, like
Yeah,
from the treehouse, the Nintendo
side-by-sides.
treehouse, and also our own footage that we captured
Yeah.
at the event. It is night and day better. Like I'm actually going to play again
yeah.
because I never completed Tears of the Kingdom.
Here's a really interesting point. As Zuko's just pointed out, Doom is £70. I'll wait for now. So
Yeah.
if you're not playing on Game Pass, obviously, it's a £70 game. Is it worth £70? Would be my question.
I am 100% biased. If it came out on Switch 2 tomorrow with a pre-order of £70, I'd buy it. But
No, I
that's
wouldn't.
me.
I
No,
wouldn't
I know.
pay 70 quid for it. I paid
No.
50.
50 is absolutely bang on the mark
Yeah.
for a Doom like that. Yes, I think 50 is
I'm
correct.
surprised it's 70. That surprises me.
70's full price game, isn't it? It's a very, very good game.
It's very good. Yeah.
Like I would pay 70 for it, but that's just me.
Worth a new save, gang? Question mark. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 100% yes.
Yes.
It's honestly exciting. It's really amazing. Okay, back to Switch 2 land. This is like I'm jumping around a lot, guys.
I like it. It's because we keep taking part in the chat.
Yeah.
And there's lots of chat
Keep
to
up
take
with me.
part in.
Okay, so there was some big news
What's that?
that people are freaking out about, and it's not the specs yet.
Oh, okay. What's this?
It's the cursed word, Hall effect.
Hall effect.
It's official. The Switch 2 Joycons will not feature Hall effect sticks.
Wow.
We knew it.
We did know
But
that.
it's confirmed by Nintendo of America's Nate Buildoff.
yeah. Okay.
Confirmed that they're not Hall effect joysticks in the Joy-Cons.
Okay.
As I'm going to read the question and the answer. So there's a recent interview where he's confirming it. I'm reading this on Nintendo Life. Is it a Hall? I'm kind of skimming through the question, so it's not so boring. Is it a Hall effect stick? Were you inspired by the Hall effect sticks? Said, well, the Joy-Con 2 controllers have been designed from the ground up. They're not Hall effect sticks, but they do feel really good. Did you experience both the Joy-Con and the Pro controller? He asks back. Both. So I like both, but that Pro controller, for some reason, I just grabbed it. I was like, this feels like a GameCube controller. So he's changing the subject.
I was just about to say, can I stop you there? Why does this sound like a politician?
It's 100% a political answer. It's awful.
Can you answer this question? No, but I had a really nice meal the other day.
Yeah.
And
Let me just talk about them.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't they just downright answer? Like, does it have a Hall effect? No, it's got potentiometer. It could be a reasonable answer to that question.
So we kind of knew this. Maisie's kind of right in chat there. We did know this, but they didn't confirm it. We all suspected it. They go on to talk about how smooth they are, and they've called them smooth gliding sticks. I'll 100% say they're the nicest feeling sticks you'll have.
Oh, I bought that controller the second we played on.
Yeah, the Pro controller, Pro controller will be the nicest controller you ever feel. And we review a lot of controllers. It's insanely good.
The sticks
specifically
are
the
perfect.
sticks.
Yeah.
The Joy-Cons are like miniature versions of them. They still feel really good. They're not quite as good.
No, because they're not full size.
And they're
still.
a bit nubbiny, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like weird little nubs.
It's not being a Hall effect. I want to go on to like, is that good or bad? Hall effect is old technology. Hall effect isn't immune to drifting.
No.
Just as much as potentiometer isn't guaranteed to drift.
Yes.
But I will say the Joy-Cons were way more susceptible than any other potentiometers.
It's because of how small it was.
Yeah.
Those little nubby joysticks were so small. The amount of friction that they were getting because of the size of it just caused them to wear out far quicker. But there's nothing to stop us seeing what other kind of. He keeps beating around the bush. They keep beating around the bush
They do.
as to what this is. It could be a different type. Maybe
Could
it's
be.
got capacitive joysticks.
Well,
Maybe it's got something else.
I bring this up because I'm sure they won't mind me saying. They probably will mind me saying.
Don't mention who it is. It's fine. You don't need to mention who it is.
Okay,
But-
let's just say there's a controller brand that make great Joy-Con alternatives that we do a lot of videos on, and they've sponsored the channel in the past.
Okay.
Yes. Let's say they sound like Boba Fad.
Boba Fett. Jimmy Bullock.
So in chat, you can guess what brand I'm talking about. They are just about to release a brand new Pro controller that has capacitive joysticks.
Yes.
And not capacitive touch,
Which is what we initially
we
thought.
thought that's what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
So it's going to be like Steam Deck and it's going to have a
Yeah.
capacitive button on top. I'm all right. That's a bit of a gimmick. It's a bit of a Nintendo gimmick. I'm not
Yeah.
that fussed. What this is actually the module itself is a capacitive module. So rather than potentiometer, which is friction, or Hall effect and TMR, which is magnet based, this is a capacitive base, which is, if you imagine a Hall effect is interacting with a magnetic field.
And as it
Not-
moves, it detects
Yeah.
and inputs. Yeah.
So, but it's not actually touching anything. This would be the same, but an electric field. So it's way more accurate than a magnetic field,
Mm.
but doesn't actually touch anything.
Mm.
And the other great thing with that made us start thinking about Joy-Cons is that it doesn't interact with electromagnets at all.
Yeah. And that's why immediately it was like, well, then that could be what Nintendo are using.
It could be.
It could be.
It would be such a weird coincidence for
Yeah.
two brands that manufacture, let's just say, very close to each other,
Yeah. Yeah.
would both be working on a new revolutionary joystick thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So we'll have to wait and see.
we don't know.
We don't know.
And we won't, I don't guess we won't know for certain until someone's willing to rip their Joy-Cons apart and have a look.
Someone will be. Yeah.
There'll
Not
be,
me.
There'll be someone, there'll be like that jerry rig channels that tear things
Yeah,
out. Maybe
yeah.
Spawnwave might even do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure
He's
someone
quite,
probably will.
John's quite good for ripping things apart.
Yeah.
So we won't know for certain until then, but Mobipad are working.
You didn't say that it was. Yeah. Someone is.
Someone is working on something really cool, which we're going to get really soon. I'm very excited for. And Nintendo have cooked something special with this. So don't be too downbeat that these aren't Hall effect.
Yes.
Because it's not the
Yeah.
be all and end all.
No, it's not. And again, until someone rips these apart, like, and actually genuinely finds the answer that Nintendo want to tell us, we just don't know. And even if they are potentiometer sticks, it doesn't mean that they're going to drift immediately. I'd still argue if they are potentiometer sticks in the Joy-Cons, there's still higher risk of drifting than a Pro controller because of the size of the module.
Yeah.
But again, we just got to wait and see. It's all like speculation at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope they bring some decent Joy-Cons like they did with the first Switch. I guess everyone's figured out. Yes, everyone's figured it out. Oh, and I did a bad job at hiding.
I like that. Lobernad says memes.
And Captain Chat says sober pad.
Oh, I like it. I like it. It's good.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so I'm probably in trouble then. Anyway, I think they did specifically tell me not to say anything. Oh well. Maisie says, very few sticks are Hall effect. I know I have none. Only one controller has drifted for me, and it was the first generation Switch I bought. Never had it before or since. Yeah, on the flip side, I've had drift develop on an Xbox controller.
Yeah, funny enough, the only time I've had drift is not on Nintendo consoles.
Yes.
Even on my
Xbox
Joy-Cons,
controllers.
I've not had it.
Xbox controllers are bad for it.
I've had
PlayStation.
it on an Xbox controller and on a PlayStation controller.
Anything that I play shooters on for any length of time. If I
Yeah.
play like Call of Duty a lot,
Yeah.
guaranteed to get, because you're like ramming it the whole time.
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah.
Guaranteed to get a little bit of drift. You could go in and start playing with like the central dead zones if the controller allows you to flip
Yeah,
around.
if they let you do that, yeah.
But yeah, I know that it was the Joy-Con thing. It was bad for a lot of people, but
Mm.
never had a problem. Right. The main topic,
Oh, yeah.
like an hour in,
I forgot about that.
drift on DualSense. Jan says, yeah, I've definitely had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the not the Xbox Elite controller, just the normal ones. I think actually my Xbox, the Starfield edition, has got drift. when I think about it.
I think that was the one I got. Started
drift.
getting drift on it, yeah.
That's
And then I
interesting.
swapped it with yours, and
Oh,
I ended up with
right.
one that didn't have drift anymore.
It's like why mine's got Doritos all over it. Makes so much sense now. Tempura says, I've had drift on at least one of my PS5 controllers, but I ran them into the ground. We'll have any public Mario Kart tournaments.
Ooh,
Jan, yes. I don't know if you're referring to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
yes. Basically,
Across the pond battles. Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
I think you've just hit the nail on the head by accident. To celebrate us reaching 100,000, which is going to happen any day,
Yes.
we are going to do a special Mario Kart World thing.
at some point, once it's launched, obviously.
Yeah, so start of June, we're going to organise with channel members, and then, so it'll be channel members first, and then any spaces left will go to first subscriber that puts their hand up, basically. And you can drop in and out and all the rest of it. We're going to figure out how to do it, but basically, it's just a big Mario Kart tournament, and I'll stream it.
Yeah,
So
live
if you want to
stream it.
watch along, and
We'll try and do it from here, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'll just play it on
it'd be
handheld,
amazing.
and then we can have the mics on or whatever, and people can listen to us.
That'd be really cool.
Whatever, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll find a way of doing it. It's going to be super complicated, I'm sure.
Even if we literally just do like a day of Mario Kart or something,
I'm
like,
so up for
and
that.
we just stream it for several hours.
Yeah.
And as a thank you for
Mario
everyone.
Kart, just a massive Mario Kart tournament. I could think of no better way to celebrate this channel reaching that landmark.
I think it'd be
that's just
perfect. Yeah, I think so too.
So join in for that. Either tune in or, we'll make it available to members, and then there'll be spaces for channel subscribers as well. Because I think it's 24 players, isn't it? And I'm sure not everyone will be available to play for the whole time.
Yeah, 24 players, yeah.
So you'll be able to drop in and out. I don't know how we organise it.
I have no idea. We'll look into it.
Maybe a Discord, like a private Discord room or something.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how to do
We
it.
can maybe open up
A bit in our Discord, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't know.
Jamie might know how to do
We'll
that.
think of something.
Let's put it onto someone else.
Yeah.
Tempuris
Yeah.
right now.
Whose problem can this be? Not mine.
Can we just veg out on launch?
Yes.
Jan. Yes. So here's what's the plan for launch day.
Yes.
I'm hoping that my pre-order gets here in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Please.
The plan is one way around, isn't it? Like,
Worst case scenario, it's going to get here around this time of day.
yes.
As soon as it arrives, I'm tearing that box open delicately because it will sit behind me.
Yeah.
I'm going to set it up, and I'm just going to stream Mario Kart,
Yes.
but the Mario Kart World. I'm going to sit there and stream
Yes.
on this channel, so you
Yes.
can join in, veg out with
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
Andy's going to be in chat and vegging
Yes.
out, I imagine.
It depends how it goes, because my wife's away during the time the Switch 2 comes. I've got a very big, boisterous dog that needs a lot of attention, and he gets stroppy if he's not getting attention. So when my Switch 2 comes, again, depending on the time, I'll film like an actual unboxing just for people that want to see it, right? And then it comes down to whether yours comes earlier enough or not.
Yeah.
And the timing. So your stream, if I've got mine and I've unboxed it and filmed the other bits I want to do first, then I'll probably join you over game chat.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And we can just,
that'd be
you
good.
can be streaming it live,
Yeah.
but I'll just be playing with you or whatever. And then the Friday, for example, the day after launch, then I'll put the unboxing out or whatever. We'll figure something else. Just stay tuned.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
Yeah,
We'll do as much as we can. Switch to content is going to get crazy.
Me says, what does veg out mean? Just means like relaxing, chilling out, just not doing much, no stress, just relaxing, playing.
Like a Sunday where you've eaten loads and you just sit on the sofa and game or watch Netflix, whatever. That's vegging out.
It's like chilling
literally
out,
just
monging
chilling
out.
Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah.
Dream Profit has become a member.
Welcome.
Welcome to 1KB.
Did we miss another super chat? We did. Dream Profit. Again, I'm sorry, Dream Profit.
Did we?
We did, up the top.
Oh, yes, we did.
Doom 2016/Eternal Switch 2 patches or dual pack. Wow. I'd love to see the patches for them. But to be fair, they run really good on the Switch 1 anyway. So I would like to see a resolution increase.
Yeah,
the 2.
Their engine is so efficient.
I can't imagine seeing a dual pack myself.
No.
I can imagine the Doom the Dark Ages coming out as a standalone release and maybe seeing patches for Doom 2016 in Eternal.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Depends. Because there's a big difference. I'm getting the feeling like there's a big difference between 1 and 2 architecture-wise that they're struggling with.
Maybe.
Because a lot's being emulated, isn't it? So, anyway, Switch 2 specs. So this came out, it was reported on by Eurogamer and Digital Foundry as well.
Yes.
Digital Foundry did their thing.
Yes.
We're not that.
No.
Sadly, you know, I know the hair is getting thinner, but it's a while until I shave it off and call myself rich. And I'm not clever enough. And the other guys that I forget their names, that all look the same.
They're all excellent.
They're amazing.
Excellent.
I absolutely love Digital
Yes.
Foundry. If I want to learn anything,
Yes.
I go
You
there.
can watch there, yeah.
This isn't that.
we got the dunce hat somewhere.
So Eurogamer and Digital Foundry specifically reported on this. I want to call it a leak, but like the full hardware for the Switch 2 was let out.
To a Digital Foundry, I believe.
Weird, man.
Yeah.
So they've done like side by side with the Switch 1 and specifically what we're getting.
Yeah.
And I guess it makes sense to look at the kind of numbers
If you want.
and then talk about actually what that kind of would mean. Because on paper, it's way different to what it's going to be in reality.
This is why I wasn't overly fussed. Like, it's funny because
I had to fight you for this one.
I know, because I'm kind of split personality with this because I'm all into PCs. I've been building PCs for years, 20 years now, for over 20 years, I think. I don't know, a long time. I've been a PC gamer for a long time. I've always loved Nintendo and I've always loved handhelds. And with PC, I get excited by specs.
Yeah.
So it's really odd. But when the spec says for this, you were like, yeah. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really mean much. Like, it really doesn't mean that much, but we will go over it.
It doesn't mean a lot, especially as Zuko points out that I think DLSS will be doing a lot of the heavy lifting for a lot of the Switch games.
Absolutely.
It's going to be doing all of the heavy lifting, and
Yes.
it is like magic in this thing. It's like a magic trick.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, João Moraes says, not emulated translation layer like Proton on Linux. Really good definition.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
makes loads of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I hadn't seen it being put like that before. And that just makes that way more understandandable.
Geekawan from China takes research to a new level. Shout out to that channel.
I saw
cool.
saw that video. I didn't see all of it because of the simulated like comparisons. I was like, it can't be like that close. But yeah.
Macy says, the Digital Foundry Fun Police, do we really trust these guys to be even-handed about low-spec systems? They're tech gurus. I will say that, oh, God, I forget his name. One of the Digital Foundry guys is a massive Nintendo fan.
Yes.
He's got like a 500 Switch game collection. He's a huge Nintendo fan. Do I trust him to be even-handed? Yeah.
It's Ollie you're thinking of.
Ollie, thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I do trust them. They are tech gurus. They are PC boys. But Ollie specifically is a massive Nintendo fan, and I do trust them. They've been.
He fights the corner for Switch.
He does. Yeah, and they've been.
Oliver. Yeah.
They've been fairly accurate most of the time on the stuff they reported.
Yeah.
Apart from that time that they launched a Nintendo advert on their channel, didn't tell anyone. It was just a Nintendo advert. Which is one of the most hilarious moments in Digital Foundry history.
Yeah, that was interesting, that one. It was.
Anyway, the Switch 2 specs. Have you got it in front of you as well?
No.
No.
I'm looking at chat.
It's the NVIDIA 2T239. It's an 8-core processor. It's boring as hell, this stuff.
Yep.
There's bits that kind of stand out as being quite interesting. The CPU clock speed, when docked, is 998 megahertz, and when mobile is 1100 megahertz. So the clock speed is increased when it's removed from the dock.
Yeah. What's that on? Sorry, for the clock speed.
The clock speed.
Well, thinking of PCs, you can underclock PCs, right? So you basically drop the core speed to let other parts of it boost.
Yes.
So you actually get better performance by dropping the speed in some instances. So I've overclocked my graphics card
It is an 8-core processor, isn't it? So
yeah, it's an 8-core processor, but it could be some sort of undervolting or whatever whilst it's docked to get a bit of extra performance, maybe.
So it's worth kind of highlighting. 8-core processor, 2 cores for reserved for operating, 6 cores available to the game, which puts it like double what the Switch One was. Yeah, it was a 4-core processor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's considerable. The other thing I was thinking about, the clock speed changing, is that the memory bandwidth is different between the two, so it could be to compensate, as in the memory bandwidth when it's mobile is a lot less than when it's docked. Maybe it's a bit of compensation happening there as well.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, really, to be fair. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. You would just assume on face value that it would be higher whilst docked.
Because there's cooling,
you
there's
think
power,
more
and
power, more speed. But again, it could be like some sort of undervolting kind of thing.
GPU clocks again, 1,000 megahertz docked, 561 mobile, maximum 1.4 gigahertz.
So there you go. So it's much higher docked.
Yeah.
So that would account for it. So they've dropped
the
the
GPU
core.
that's the
Yeah,
power hungry thing
they've
here.
undervolted the CPU so that the GPU can rise higher.
Yeah.
From what it looks like.
Yeah, and I think the important thing here is many of the games now are more GPU dependent than CPU bound.
Yeah, it's game dependent.
Yeah,
like, for
there
sure.
are definitely some you can tell are CPU bound, but
yeah,
for the most part, it's going to be the GPU part that's going to be doing the heavy lifting. And it's NVIDIA, isn't it? The 1,500 CUDA cores. It's like
yeah. And what was the original?
256.
Yeah, to 1,500.
To 1,536.
That's a lot.
It's a huge jump. System memories, the RAM configuration is really interesting. The LPDDR5, 128-bit, and up to 12 gigs now. 3 reserved for operating system, 9 for games.
That sounds about right to me, to be fair. Like, you would expect it to be a bit lighter for the OS. Like, the first Switch was like less than a gig. But
yeah, it was 0.8.
But 3 gig, I mean, when you think of all the PC handhelds and stuff, like you're like, this is good. And with the inclusion of game chat, as well as the fact that you're going to be streaming video to each other from it, and the fact that you're going to have hopefully a revamped eShop.
Yes,
and
I hope so.
Game capture on top of that, like you're going to be able to record and share from that too. I think 3 gigs totally acceptable.
I'll be honest, at face value, I was very surprised that they'd reserved so much to the operating system.
Yeah.
When you consider 0.8 gig was to the previous model, and we had assumed that the operating system would be very light before the Switch 2 announcement because it would be the same. But we weren't expecting things like that. Their version of Discord, the game chat, to be running with video and game streaming. And of course, like you say, things like background functions like the eShop and stuff. It's hopefully going to be revamped.
Yes, yeah, no, it will be. If you've got 3 gig of system there, the eShop should actually be able to run because there's enough memory there.
Yeah.
Like eShop on the Switch One. I mean, if the entire Switch One's OS is taking 0.8 of a gigabyte of RAM, like there's no wonder the eShop sucks so much.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got 3 gig just chilling, like in reserve, then the eShop should absolutely run well.
Mimas says ray tracing ?
Ray tracing. Okay. Yeah, it depends on the title, I would say. I would say
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, that's going to be hard because it's like baked into the game, but they did adjust and tweak stuff for the Series S, didn't they? So
games like Indiana Jones as well, where it was also baked into the game and they adjusted it for the Series S.
Yeah.
Which obviously not going to do like path tracing and stuff.
Yeah, no.
They introduced like global illumination ray tracing.
Yeah. Stuff has been changed for sure.
Yeah.
And I think if it can be changed like to accommodate something like the Series S, then it will be fine on the Switch 2. I don't think we're going to see a lot of ray tracing on the Switch 2, honestly, because it's so taxing. And I think it would do well not to bother. I'm sure there'll be some crazy examples of it running really well on some like really low demanding games. Then we might see some instances where ray tracing just adds that like cherry on top. But I'm not expecting to see like something like Star Wars Outlaws, like which is going to be really demanding with ray tracing on the top. It's just not going to be.
And
like,
do we
happening.
want it?
That's what I mean. I'd rather take the performance
I remember
trade-off.
us doing a podcast about ray tracing. It's like,
Yeah.
it's great, but it's not worth the sacrifice.
No, that's why I went AMD for my GPU.
Yeah.
I went away from NVIDIA and went to AMD because I was like, you know what, I don't need.
When it
that.
all
I'd
works,
rather
and
take the
everything,
performance.
it's like epic.
It's
But like,
amazing if you've got a 5090 and you can spend 10 grand on a PC. But if you can't, it's a trade-off that I'm willing to sacrifice.
yeah, if it's going to tank the games, no
Yeah.
problem. I just want to say, Angel Page puts a really good point. The Switch 2 must be thought of in terms of smarter engineering and not raw power numbers.
Absolutely, yes.
Just nail head right on it. You hit it.
Yes.
There. It really is. And smarter engineering, both from like the kind of hardware upscaling that's baked in with what NVIDIA make, but also with what the game developers are able to do. The combination of those two elements of smarter engineering make these numbers irrelevant.
And that's why I said at the start,
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah.
even though I'm a PC guy and I love specs on PCs, when it came to this, I literally couldn't care less. I wasn't even excited to read the specs because it means nothing to me. I don't care because these games are going to be specifically optimized by devs for this system and this system alone, which they know is going to sell like crazy. They're going to do their absolute best to make every game work as good as they can make it with the specs that they have. We have no power over the specs Nintendo have chose. We just kind of got to live with it until 8 years' time when they do another one. So there's no point getting upset about it. The thing we've got to have faith in is that it's powerful enough for developers like CD Projekt Red to say, we're really happy with the fact that we got Cyberpunk running the best you're going to see it on handheld.
That's amazing.
And, like, they didn't go, we're really sorry, guys, this is going to suck, but buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're actually excited seeing, like, Borderlands 4, and the guy in that is like, this console is so powerful now that we're being able to make this game run so well. Like, everyone's hyped when you see devs talking about it. And I know it's a bit of bias because they kind of got to say that because they want you to buy the game, right? But these specs are noticeably higher than the Switch One without me even looking at them. And that's kind of why I was just a bit like, meh, I don't care about the specs.
Yeah.
I want to see it in proof.
Yes.
Because the specs, if you gave me those specs and told me it was a PC, I'd go, that is rubbish.
Yeah, of course.
Throw it in the bin.
Yeah, this is your new PC handheld.
Yeah. I'd just be like, ugh. Like, but hand me the Switch 2 and put Cyberpunk on it or whatever it might be. Even us just playing Mario Kart, like when we went to the thing, or Metroid, for example.
Fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
Give me that.
Yeah.
I don't care what the specs are. Am I having fun? Does it look freaking great?
Yeah.
Does it have DLSS and it's helping loads? Yeah.
Do you
And
know-
that's what I see.
We talked about Doom a minute ago. It's actually a really good example of it. I went through the menus and I couldn't find where the graphics settings were on it. And in the end, I was like, do you know what? I just want to play it. And I played it and I had a couple of hours just like smashing through. And I couldn't tell you if it was good
Yeah.
or bad. It just felt great.
Yeah.
It just felt great.
Yeah.
Same with Clair Obscur of the Expedition 33. Obviously, I'm playing that a lot recently. When it opened, I had my technical hat on. I was like, oh, I can see the upscaling.
Yeah,
It's not very nice.
But then you look past it and enjoy the game.
You just start enjoying the game,
Yeah,
and you're like, I'm having fun. It looks fine on my 4K TV. It looks great.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's just where we need to get at.
Yes.
Someone says like ray tracing has killed the current generation. It's the biggest scam in gaming. That and frame generation. Frame gen's fine if you've already got a powerful enough computer to like run it really high FPS anyway, which is kind of besides the point, right? It is.
Like I thought frame gen was going to be the savior of like lower powered systems. It's not. It's just a bit of sprinkle magic dust on high end systems, and even then, I won't take it anyway. You know, like so. Yeah, nah. Ray tracing, I agree with. I love the look of it, but no one can afford that. Do you know what I mean? Like the cost of performance is just not worth the trade off, in my opinion. So I just go, nah, turn it off.
There's also confirmation in this report from Eurogamer and Digital Foundry that we kind of knew this, but it's absolute confirmation that there is no VRR when the Switch 2 is docked.
I'll tell you what, that is my actual
real upsetting.
only issue I've got with the Switch 2 right now. Like in terms of it all, that's the one thing I was really happy about. I was like, I'm so glad there's a VRR screen. And I'm so glad there's VRR docked. And then they got the eraser out and went on the website. So
yeah.
like,
So to catch you up, if you did miss it, like in the announcement, VRR was very much part of docked mode, and it was in all the literature, HDR on support TVs, VRR, 4K output. It was all there. And then, like a week later, Nintendo updated all of the websites, and VRR was deleted off of docked mode.
Yeah.
So it's still there for the handheld because obviously it's a VRR panel, but for docked. And it was thought that potentially the output is either HDMI 2.0 or limited to that bandwidth, so can't support VRR output.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It was either that or they couldn't offer it consistently enough through the output.
Yeah.
So they've decided to scale back on it. It was a really weird, considering it's 8 years in the making, it's a really weird admission.
It is, especially when
to
they've put it internally on the system, like
So
it's capable
It
of.
must have been capable of it in some settings.
Otherwise they wouldn't have put in every language
Exactly.
on every website on the world that they own that it does VRR docked. They wrote that. There's screenshots of it. I saw that. I read it.
It's really sad. It really does hurt. Jen Jumping says that no VRR docked hurts. It does. If you've got a VRR capable TV or monitor, it really does hurt.
I was
it not being
planning
there.
on absolutely running it in VRR mode.
And Alma says they'll probably patch that. I think they will.
I hope they do. I really hope they do. But if they've used a 2.0 variant of any kind, it's not possible. It has to be a 2.1 to get HDMI VRR. Unless they release a separate dock.
Does it need 2.1 for VRR?
Yeah, you can't VRR
over
through
2.0.
HDMI below. Yeah, it's got to be 2.1.
Okay. Yeah.
DisplayPort's different.
Yeah.
You DisplayPort from
DisplayPort we
freaking
want.
like DisplayPort 1.2
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, so that's why I've been using G-Sync VRR screens for 15 years now.
Yeah.
Only via DisplayPort.
Yeah.
HDMI VRR is new. It's a new thing with 2.1. And that's why PlayStation 5 and Xbox have only just managed to get HDMI VRR.
Paywall for VRR incoming.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'd pay it. If they said $10 or whatever, like to unlock VRR, I'd be like, yep. It's the first thing I did. But yeah, it's a shame.
Who will accept the gift of being a Bithead 1000 subscriber? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that is.
But I love it. That sounds great. Yes, I'll accept it. It's bound to get put back in some way.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe that's where the revision comes in 3 years' times.
That's the mid-generation upscale.
That's the one and only
it's
selling
not an
point.
OLED version at all.
You now
It's
have
just
VRR docked. Hey, oh great.
Cheers, guys. Yeah.
I tell you what, though, on this subject, because the Switch can handle it, I wonder if you're punching lights. I wonder if a third-party manufacturer makes a dock, right, with a 2.1 output that somehow tricks the Switch into enabling VRR docked. Because if that happens, I'm totally getting one of those.
Well, one thing that's going to be nice this generation is we won't see problems with power delivery protocols messing up and docking and breaking switches.
Hope not.
Well, because they've updated it entirely, haven't they? So it's more generic now.
I think so. I don't know.
I can't remember where I read that.
Yeah,
but
I haven't read that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if only handheld mode gets VRR. Yeah, it will be. Looks like I'll play handheld. That screen will be glorious. Yeah,
it is. It looks great. I can't wait. I'll be playing handheld a lot.
I think most people will be, but I'm going to be playing a mix of both.
I will too. Yeah.
I'm gutted that VRR's not there, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
I just kind of have to accept it. It's just a weird admission. I go back to that point of like, it was there. So it's not an accident.
That's what really upset me, because when it all launched, that first day that they announced everything, that was the one thing I honed in on. I was like, VRR, yes!
Docked.
I was more surprised to see VRR handheld. I expected it just to be docked, like something silly like that.
Yeah.
And then when it was the other way round, I'm like, what? But I am glad that there's VRR handheld at least, because that honestly will help to no end on handheld, yeah.
Does anyone know if the new Sony PlayStation handheld gaming console is backwards compatible with PS Vita games yet?
It won't be, no.
No.
We're like years away from whatever PS handheld is coming.
Yeah. I think a couple of years off. I need to restart watching this. Dan's just turned up. Hello, Dan.
What's up,
Good
Dan?
to see you, buddy. And nearly 100,000 subs. Fair play from a friend in Ireland.
Thank you.
Good day to you. Good
Indeed.
crack. Good crack.
Indeed. I can't wait to play Mario Kart World whilst taking a poo. I like that.
Me too.
Yes.
I think
indeed.
we can all appreciate that.
Yeah.
Although it does sound like a messy cleanup. Talk of my OG Switch is still sealed in the box. I exclusively played handheld modes for me, so no biggie.
Yeah, I mean, they give you those yearly roundups every year. Nintendo like email you and tell you all the games you played, how much time you spent handheld and stuff.
Yeah.
And mine was like 75% handheld. Always.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot higher than I thought it would
It's
be.
a lot higher than most. Most people play docked, I think.
Yeah.
But I've always been I've always loved handhelds.
Yeah.
It's just my thing.
Well, you're the handheld lover.
I am indeed, yeah.
He's the handheld lover. Yeah, anyway, I think we've come to nearly the end of the road here.
Wash your hands, lads. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me. That genuinely made me laugh. Yeah, loads going on. I'm genuinely excited, firstly, to finish Expedition 33. Who in chat has completed it yet? Let me know, because I want to know if I'm the first one out of our little group.
Wow. I've definitely not. And just to reply here really quickly, where did I see it? Jan Binks says, how's your accessory build-up going? What have you personally purchased and ready for launch? I've personally purchased, because I do just want to answer this.
Yeah.
I've already bought my 256 gigabyte micro SD card express from SanDisk. You've ordered one as well.
Oh, I did. I forgot. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Have you got that yet?
No.
No. They're
From
waiting.
Shop 2. It's,
Yeah.
It's the Mario branded one.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous. I kind of wish I'd cancelled my order.
Shop 2.
But,
Whatever.
You've got the actual Nintendo branded micro SD
256,
card express. Yeah. But anything above that is insane.
Money.
For money. So I bought the 256 as well, paid slightly more than you, but for the non-Nintendo branded one. But I'm intrigued to see if the speeds are the same, because I've got a feeling the non-Nintendo branded ones are going to be faster. But
Yes.
we'll find out soon.
I think so.
So that's one of them. And then the obviously other accessories we talked about, like we've already pre-ordered controllers and stuff, but we do have a load of stuff from companies being sent.
Yeah.
Like boxes of grips, of screen protectors, of cases, joystick caps, like all manner of things. And we're going to be going through and reviewing them all. So expect videos as we do.
I know for certain that there's things from JSO, Skull & Co, which
is
are
now Savage. I always say Savage Pigeon. I'm sorry.
Savage Raven.
It's Savage Raven. I can't help it.
Tom Talk as well. Who are
Tom Talk, yes.
sponsor of the channel at some point.
Yes, you'll see that in a.
There's loads coming.
There's
loads, as you would expect. China and the Chinese companies are rearing up, and when we say that, it kind of has a connotation of being like cheap stuff, but it's genuinely amazing quality stuff.
A lot of the best like accessories like this come from that way.
I just want to say, Ruben Lawrence appreciated the singing, saying Christmas #1 incoming, handheld lover. I'll write the song for you.
Handheld lover. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, is it like that? Is
yeah.
He's a handheld lover. He likes a Savage Pigeon SD card.
Jan thinks laugh my ass off pigeon. I'm sorry. Skull & Co.
And Dan just says, Expedition 33 I find really hard. My timing is the battles are soft. Yeah, stick with it. It gets easier when you figure it out. And I'll say my one advice is slightly preempt. You have to be a little bit quicker than you think. Spidgen do.
Spidgen?
Do an awesome Easy Glide screen protector.
Spidgen. Spiggin, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Spidgen.
I love that though. Oh, Savage Spidgen. Yeah.
Hurry up and charge my pre-orders, Nintendo. I'm sick of sitting on this money I can't spend. I know.
I tell you what, I had an email from Nintendo a couple of days ago saying, we're getting ready to ship your GameCube controller.
I know, I got excited.
I was like, what? They were like, we're going to take your money soon. I was like, does that mean you're going to send it or are you just going to take my money?
Yeah, I think they're just going to take your money.
I think that's like 3 weeks early. So we'll see. If I get the GameCube controller early, you're sure that I'm going to be doing a video about that.
Oh, yeah.
Beforehand.
All accessories in for Switch 2 is sold out in Japan or can't get hold of, so I'll opt for third parties. Hope to see reviews. Wow. I know Japan's had it really hard with stock as well, that just in general, like the Nintendo website sold out.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've got their own specific console, which is like regional locked, and it just got wiped. Like absolutely wiped.
Nintendo brings Christmas early and in the middle of the summer. I had an email regarding the big case from Nintendo. Oh, I didn't think about the big case.
Oh, it's like 70 or 80 quid. It's really expensive. It might even be more than
Jeez, chats, what are you up to?
that. It's that big honking thing that takes like the dock and all that. Because my wife bought me a non-branded one from Amazon for the Switch 1.
Yeah.
And it's like this big thing.
all in one thing.
I've used it once. I literally used it once. It's lovely as well. So it's like a Zelda rip-off one.
I'll see you guys in next week's
yeah.
Waiting for Switch 2 launch support group.
Yes.
That's
yes.
basic. Okay, you've hit the nail on the head. That's basically what we're doing here. Is this whole channel.
This is us just all waiting for the Switch 2.
It's just a big support group. We're all in this together.
Indeed.
And Jay says, did you see Hogwarts Legacy got an upgrade path
yes,
for $10?
$10 indeed.
Yes, I bought the Switch 1 version today for that
You
reason.
did, yes.
It was £25.
Indeed.
The same. But in fact, the Switch 2 version is for sale in the UK.
Yeah.
New.
Yes.
From
I think it's 50 or something.
from Currys or Shop 2.
I don't remember.
Have a look
online.
because there's a few retailers that have got the physical Switch 2 versions on sale.
Yeah. As I said, if anyone's in the UK and you want to buy Cyberpunk physically, go to Curry's right now. There's 10% off, and it's £5 cheaper to start with anyway.
Okay, my guy Desbo 2. Really good question you asked, because that was my first reaction, but I don't think it's the case. He put, do you think they removed VRR dock listing from the website in case your TV doesn't support it so they can cover themselves? I would say my first reaction was that, and then I realised that HDR is there,
the same.
and they just put an asterisk next to it and said HDR only available on supported TVs.
Yeah,
because obviously your TV has to support HDR for it. So sadly, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, it's not the case. Unfortunately,
I think they firmware switched it off.
Yes, they did
for some reason.
Yeah.
25 quid towards the hate campaign. Great job. Yeah, that is the problem with Hogwarts, isn't it? You guys got to stop it. The wife's sitting next to me watching my wallet.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on what Nintendo will announce the holiday season? 3D Mario. What do you think? Will there be a 3D Mario? The Fall is still empty.
I expect we will see a new one, 3D Mario, because it's been since Odyssey, hasn't it? Which was launched like on Switch. So
the only caveat I'd say to that is Donkey Kong, the new one.
Yeah.
Which is, I can never remember its name.
I have no idea what it's called, but that's cool.
That one, it looks kind of fun. Is almost certainly, and Nintendo never confirmed these things, but almost certainly made by the same team that made Odyssey.
Yes. Yeah.
And the teams only tend to work on one game at a time with Nintendo.
Yeah, but
so we might be a little way off that, unless they use a different team for another 3D Mario.
It's been long enough though, as well. You know, like they might have done it. They might have done it.
Beyond that, I really don't know what we're going to see.
I don't know, but we do know that Mario Odyssey is getting like resolution improvements and stuff.
Yeah, for free.
For free, yeah, day one.
And online multiplayer as well, as in like co-op over game chat.
Yeah. Oh, Bonanza, that's it. You're correct, Jay. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
The only thing we haven't seen is actual Switch 1 games running on Switch 2. And totally
that's what we'll be testing out when we get ours.
Guess what some of our future videos will be. Thanks for the idea.
Yes.
Right, and finally, I'm going to answer this final question before we go. Do you think would the Nintendo Switch 2 console go on sale by January 2025? Just can't afford a Switch 2, so I'll just watch you guys the next month. Oh, 1st of December, I think that is. It's in America, isn't it? 12/1.
Yeah.
Not 12th of January 2025.
I don't know. It depends.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it going on sale that fast.
Before December?
No.
I would say pay attention to as many of the local retailers as you can.
Yes.
Nintendo won't put it on sale.
No.
But you will definitely see sales from retailers.
And what I would say is by then, what you'll see is the second-hand market, because some people will be randomly buying these and then immediately selling them. And if you're in America, then look at
GameStop,
Open Box, GameStop or Walmart, or I don't understand American shops, but those kind of big stores, electronic stores, will have Open Box or like second-hand ones or whatever, and you'll be able to get them cheaper.
We saw it loads with the ROG Ally.
Yes.
Like Open Box, you could get like Open Box Allies for like $400 at the time and stuff. It was like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that. I think it's odd that in Australia everything is readily available for Switch 2. Maybe there's just not so much demand. And Maisie reckons price drop by spring 26, maybe.
Mm.
Probably a whole year.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
I think someone mentioned VR missing from the docked mode could be connected to the HDMI version used. Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's what we think. Yeah.
Every retailer in Australia has launch day stock available.
Wow. The rest of the world's like
Right.
scrambling. Everyone go to Australia.
Who wants a holiday?
Road trip. Should we just get a coach and drive everyone there so we can all go get Switch 2s?
If anyone fancies like a trip to Australia, a 128 kb road trip, we're going to book flights soon.
I was going to say flights be better than my idea of a coach.
Take you a while.
Can you imagine trying to get a coach from England to Australia? How would it even work?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like
Anyway.
another planet.
I don't know. There's a lot of nerds here. I think he means Australia, but also here as well.
Also here in this chat. Yeah.
Right, you lovely lot. We're going to leave
Yes.
it there. It's been a while.
Yes.
It's been a hot minute. Thank
has.
you so much all for your company this afternoon.
Thank you. It's been enjoyable.
As we all impatiently wait for the Switch 2.
Indeed.
We're very excited, like you. Make sure you like this stream before you go. Thumbs up really does help. And maybe drop down in the actual comments of the video any other questions you have.
Yes,
Stuff
yes,
you want to
yes,
see
yes.
when we get hands-on. And if you want to take part in our Mario Kart tournament.
And the Nintendo 2 support group will be, regrouping next Friday around the same time as we've done this one here. So
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll reconvene for
We will.
more.
we will indeed.
More therapy.
Yes.
So until the next time, we love you.
Thank you.
See you then.
Bye.